So today we're going to be changing headlights from this to this. So I've already done the driver's side headlight, which is this one here that you can see. The passenger side is right here. So that one obviously wasn't done yet. And you can see the difference between the halogen light and the LED light. Now these are really easy to do. They're fairly inexpensive. It's a nice retrofit. And in most cars, you won't be dazzling the people in front of you or blinding people with the LED kits as long as you're getting the right lights and you're not cheaping out on them. So as you can see, this is my low beam. I've got that nice eyebrow effect like you would expect. And I'm obviously not going to be blinding people that are coming down the road. This is going to be at the same height and with the same lens array as my regular halogen light. So we're going to be using a light from Auxito. Now this car has H7 is the size of lights. You can go on their website and you can look up the lights. You can buy them from Amazon, you can buy them direct. You can buy them from a bunch of different places. Auxito isn't the only brand that makes them. But I've installed these in a couple cars and I found them to be effective. So the very first thing that we want to do, this has a plastic cover on it. The cover looks like this, and it's just a quarter turn. You give it a little twist. You could see the high beam one right here. The low beam one is right over here. Behind that, we've got a 2-pin wiring connector. So we're just going to pull that off and that's going to disconnect the light. And then inside there are 3 metal clips. So you can just basically pull the light out. It kind of presses into like a spring fitment. So here is the original light, and then here is the LED light. And when these LED lights or HID lights first came out, a lot of people had problems with the lights being too bright and with them dazzling oncoming traffic or blinding oncoming traffic. And that's because from the factory, a lot of these lights have this cap on them. You see that black cap? And what that does is it keeps this light into the reflector of the housing and bounces the light out instead of sending light directly through the tip and coming out as an unrefracted light or as an undirected light. And back in the day, these used to have LEDs all over them, or they would be HIDs where it would be like a gas canister that was ignited. And there wasn't really any good direction. Especially if your lights didn't have projectors in them. So what they've done, a lot of these new LEDs, you can see that the top of it has that metal cap on it. So it's kind of the same thing where the light is only shining out the side, not out the tip. The next thing is, for a lot of new modern cars, we have to care about the CANbus system. So most modern cars are going to have a light out detection circuit. Meaning the car is looking at the light and it's saying, oh, is it drawing the right amount of power? It is, so it's good. Or it's not, so the light must be burned out. And then what most cars will do is they will cut power to the light and then they will come up with an error on the dash that says something like check high beam or check low beam or something along those lines. So when you're buying LED lights, especially for modern cars, you need to get ones that are CANbus-compatible. They'll normally say on the box. CANbus is the computer system that most cars use to communicate. CAN is an acronym, and they're, talking to different systems throughout your car. So the ones that are CANbus compatible, they'll have like a load resistor or something like that in here to make the LED draw as much power as a halogen normally does, because LEDs draw less power, and trick the system into thinking that everything is okay. So we're going to stick this back in. This is a really easy install on the H7, which is what the light bulb size here is. So this just actually gets pushed right into the slots. It's spring loaded, like I said. So we'll push this in. And then we can plug our wire back into place. Nice and simple. And we can see our light is turned on. And then we can put this back on. It says top, so put that into place and we are good to go. So let's shut off this flashlight and I will show you what the light actually looks like. So check that out. We can see the light shining on the wall. Again, we do have that nice effect where we've got that eyebrow going across the wall where we're not going to be shining up into people's faces. If we look at our high beam looks like this. You can see the difference. where the high beam doesn't have that reflector pattern. Now we could change out the high beam bulbs too if we really wanted to. But in this case, I'm just doing the low beams. It's what you use a majority of the time. And if we go and look at the dash, we can see an error right now that says check right low beam. That's what it says right here on the dash. That's because I pulled the light while the lights were turned on. So let's just shut the car off. And then let's turn the car back on. No messages. So my message went off, turn the lights on. There's our lights. We saw them come on. Still no messages, no errors. And we can see that even on a Mercedes-Benz, which can be one of the pickiest cars that exist, we're not running into any issues. There was no coding required for this. It was just plug and play. So that was about as simple as it gets. These lights are about $60 from Amazon, 60 to 80 depending on which ones you buy. They have like 3 different levels. I got these on sale for Black Friday. They were 25% off. I paid like 47 bucks shipped to my door. I'll put a link in the description to the ones that I used. Note that that is an H7. And there are a variety of different size bulbs. There's 9006, 9003, H4, H7, H1. You know, so you need to get the right ones that fit your car. If you go on Auxito's website, you can go in and you can select your car, make, model, and year, and it will tell you which ones fit your car. Note that for some cars, there might be multiple fitments. So for example, if this car came with HIDs from the factory, it would have a different size bulb than the non-HID or halogen lights that mine came with. Now mine actually uses H7s for both low beam and high beam. I might add the high beams in the future, but I just thought this is an easy, inexpensive Black Friday deal, and I can get 25% off, free shipping, and for 50 bucks, it's a pretty drastic difference in the light that you get out of the car. So this is something that I would definitely recommend doing on any car. I had them done on my last Mercedes, and they were excellent the entire time that I owned the vehicle. I never had any issues. I also did Auxito HIDs on one of my Mini Coopers, and we also did them on a Mazda 3 that we had, and both of those cars worked excellently, 0 issues. So it is a brand like, it's a, I don't know, it's a Chinese-y sounding brand, but I've had really good luck with their products, and they seem to actually care and produce a reliable, reputable product that works fairly well. So they're a brand that I've come to trust, and I think that their stuff works really well. So again, link in the description. There are multiple levels. These are the highest level, and you know, there are multiple sizes. You want to get the ones that fit your car, but it doesn't really get any easier than this. So I'm going to close the hood. We'll pull the car out, and that's all for today. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.